All right, it's recording now. All
Uh,
right. And then we can click like go on our ship whenever.
okay, I'm getting my voice memos. All right.
Yeah, I recorded or I got done 27 minutes. It's all we have. So all right, ready?
All right. Everybody got their voice memos up?
All right, 3, 2, 1, click them. All right, so next up we're gonna be going over the week one after we just did the pre-week one. Now we've done watch the games. Now we're back on Monday night talking about all the games. So let's see. All right, so first off, the attendance numbers. So the San Antonio Brahmas, surprisingly, like the only new team in the league, had double the attendance numbers as everyone else. I mean, I'm not sure if these numbers are good or bad, but Danny, you'd probably know more about that.
I don't know. I mean, 24,000 for this is really good, honestly. I mean, as you can see, everybody else averaged around 12,000. They're all about the same. But San Antonio did really well, doubled the attendance of everybody else, pretty much. So that's a
Yeah,
good showing for them. I mean, they've been yearning for a pro sports team there for a long, other than the Spurs,
yeah.
for a long time. So,
Well, I feel like maybe St. Louis and San Antonio will be the biggest like crowd drawers, but also if you think about it, if they average like $100 per ticket, then altogether that's like what all those added up is like over 60,000. So that's like a little bit over $6 million in tickets if they average like $100 per ticket sold or something. So I mean, at least they're making a little bit of money off the tickets. So that's a good start to the league, I would think.
yeah, couple things. I mean, going to that game yesterday, going to the DC game, the parking was outrageous. To me, I mean, ticket prices were decent. I mean, you got some high ticket prices. You got up. I mean, it got up there $300-400. So be it. But 80 some dollars to park, stuff like that is pretty high for this level. If you want to get more fans, I think they need to get the cost down some. It's going
Yeah,
to be
I
a
agree.
tough balance. It's going to be a tough balance to keep this going.
I did feel like maybe we can talk about the atmosphere here. We can go to the next slide, but also why
Yeah.
don't we just talk about the atmosphere of the DC game? Like I felt like it was more of a college atmosphere. There was a
Yeah.
lot more younger people, but it was a good experience. So like I had fun. I know you had fun, Gavin. Gavin's younger, and there's lots of things
Yeah.
for all ages to do there.
It was
Yeah.
wild. It was wild for sure, with the lemon peels and the beer train, and it was wild. I wouldn't. It was definitely, it was fun.
Yeah,
A fun atmosphere.
I think also it's cool how like that section that we went and sat at clearly was meant for the alcoholic people because everybody else that sat around, I saw videos. It was like I feel like behind the end zone because of the last time of the beer snake. That's where everybody buys tickets specifically to drink and make the beer snake, you know.
Oh yeah,
But it
yeah,
was fun though.
Yeah.
it's definitely fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so
And yeah.
you got anything to say, Gav?
I mean, no, not really.
You covered
Like
it.
you guys are saying, atmosphere was high. Not a lot of fans. I mean, like one part of it was empty, but the other side was fine.
Yeah, I feel like it was maybe it's just a bigger. Well, they also sold the top section, not just the bottom section, like a lot of other stadiums did. So it looked more spread out. But if like we can go like look like you see it had what 20,000? Yeah, no 12,000. I mean, all three of those games had the same amount of people pretty much.
Yeah.
It just looked like it was less probably on TV.
Yeah.
All right, so we want to move on to the games now. So
Mm-hmm.
so the games here. So first game, Vipers versus Renegades. That was a good game, close one, good one to
Yes.
start out the year with.
Yeah. I mean, coming down, it was basically to that 2 point conversion and then that 4th and 15 onside thing. I mean, the Vegas wide receiver called it, but then Arlington's person hit him in a good spot, which made the ball come out.
Yeah, I think the Vipers, none of us had, like on our pre week one rankings, none of us really had anybody on either team and QB wise. Arlington's supposed to have really good offense. They didn't look great on offense. Their defense looked like pretty solid. Vipers look like they can be a good team. Perez probably won't start over Huntley next week, but I mean, it is
Yeah.
what it is.
Sure. I wouldn't start him.
Yeah,
He's a turnover
they were.
machine. The
Yeah,
only
they
reason
were
they lost
up.
the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were up 14-3, and then he threw 2 pick sixes, and that was basically it.
I mean,
Yeah.
they weren't even forced. They weren't even forced pick sixes. I mean, they're literally two
Yeah,
running back. I mean, it was a dump pass to the running. It was a screen to the running back picked off by a lineman, and I think the other one was just a quick out. Pick six. He jumped the route. I mean, it was easy interceptions. It wasn't like they were anything spectacular. It was just too
Yeah.
easy. It's way too easy.
yeah,
I mean, it was an entertaining game though, for sure. Like it's good to like if you look at all these games, high scoring, like pretty much high scoring. They weren't crazy high scoring, but it was decent. I mean, they were
Yeah.
entertaining. And then I guess the second game here, Orlando versus Roughnecks, that was the only somewhat blowout of the week, which is a good thing. Orlando, like all of us had on our like last place, they look like crap. So
yeah. I mean, Houston did reach expectations of blowing them out, which is good.
yeah. All right, so we'll move on to the St. Louis Battlehawks and Brahmas. We didn't really watch much of that one because we all went to DC and watched the Dragons and Defenders. But I did watch the replay. That was a wild game. Like people were talking about it at the game that we were at. I mean, they were down what, Gavin? 3-15.
15-3.
Yeah, 15-3 with a minute and 29 remaining.
Yeah, that's insane. The comeback. I mean, that's one thing that I really like about these rules. Like the 3-point conversion kept them in that game. They got the 3-point conversion, and then they were able to get the 4th and 15 to score again. So, like, really, like the game's always close. I mean, even if it's not close, it's. I guess what I'm saying is that the 3-point, 2-point, 1-point conversion make it so that there's more ways to win the game than in the NFL.
Yeah.
All right, so then we want to talk about the Dragons and Defenders game now.
Yeah.
Cat. All right, go ahead.
Mm.
Do what now?
So are we talking? We're talking about the Dragons and Defenders game. You want to start it, Gav?
Sure. I mean, it was a close game in the start. It was 9-8 and going into halftime. Seattle got a touchdown, and it was then 15-8. Drew got DC a penalty, which made Seattle get the 3-point from the 5-yard line, which gave them the 18 points. Then DC got pick six. Think a couple minutes after that.
Yeah, it was
Then
2 pick sixes by Joseph. Joseph had actually not 2 pick sixes, but Joseph had the pick six, got him back in it. Then
And he got
DiNucci
another
came
pick.
back and threw another interception to Joseph. He returned that inside the red zone, and then the quarterback keeper from King. King ran the quarterback keeper in to take the lead. I think it was a 4-point lead, 22-18. Dragons drove down the field, was driving, got stopped on 4th down. and then Tua threw the interception over the middle, which
Itama.
gave to Tom
Yeah.
threw an interception over the middle, which was a bad play. I mean,
Well,
just a horrible
honestly,
pass.
yeah, I
Gave
think
Seattle a shot.
I think DC is fine. Like I thought that like they just didn't have the ball much because I feel like Seattle's our offense was really good, so they were driving every time. But when you fumble the ball on the 1 yard line, you throw 2 picks. I mean, that gets you off the field, even if you're driving all the way down to like their 20. That's why they had the ball most of the time. I feel like.
Yeah.
Let's see. Number 3 on the Dragons. What was? I gotta look his name up.
Yeah, we gotta look him up because I remember he actually got hurt because I went back and watched
Number
like the
3
replays.
on the Dragons was Pearson.
Pearson.
Yeah.
And he blew up. That kid was all over the field.
Yeah, he was a beast.
Yeah.
For sure. And then I feel like Josh Gordon is the most anticipated player. I feel like coming into that game, he looked really good. I mean, like you were saying when we were there, he just looks so much bigger. And Seattle has a lot of tall receivers, big guys out there compared to other teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
let's see.
Josh, Gordon did end up getting a touchdown. The Sea Dragon's first touchdown of the season.
A little pass by Danucci.
Yeah.
He was under pressure and gave him a little shovel pass or just a little flick, and he managed to come down with.
Oh yeah, that was an exciting play. That was the first touchdown of the game. Exciting play. Shows some mobile ability, gets out of the pocket, flicks it to Josh Gordon for a touchdown. And then Tamu, same thing. I feel like we'll see them in the playoffs playing against each other. They're in the same division because I mean they look like the 2 best teams on that side. Honestly, I think.
Yes.
Who do you think?
I think Seattle and the Defenders will be the 2 on the north side? Yeah, they'll be on the north sides. I feel like they'll be in the playoffs together, top 2, because they just look like the 2 best teams.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm sold on that.
There's a lot of games to play.
I mean, DC. There's a couple teams out there, and in my opinion, that if they didn't score points on defense, they weren't going to win the game.
Yeah.
That was. Let's see. Where would it go here? Let's go. Renegades. I mean, they came back on defense. They weren't doing too much on offense.
Yeah, exactly. The Renegades game, they literally.
I think the Vipers were the better team in that game.
Me too.
Could say that without a doubt. Sea Dragons look like the better team. I mean, if Danucci didn't fumble the ball on the 1 yard line at the end of the game, they win this game.
They would have came back and won.
Yeah.
They were the better team, in my opinion. Defenders had absolutely no offense at all. Very weak offense.
No.
Well, I feel like I didn't see them enough, though. I feel like they didn't get enough, get the ball enough times.
No.
Well, that's the problem with a lot of this. I mean, you got to also realize these guys get there's no preseason. So your first 2 or 3 weeks, it's going to be a feeling out process. So, I mean, they're going to take off. I mean, you saw the same thing with USFL last year. It took off slow.
Yeah.
Got going a little bit better as everyone got more comfortable with their systems. You got to expect that anyway. But, so, I mean, 177 yards of offense, 93 in the air.
Well, that's the next page that I have. You want me to bring that up?
Yeah, bring that up.
Yeah,
84 rushing. It's just
So this is the we can come back to this, but right here is where I have everything out for us. I have them in order too. So you see Houston look like the dominant team in this game. I don't know if that's because the team they played just sucked or if they're actually that good. You know what I mean? Because it's hard to tell.
Yeah, they were undefeated during 2020 too.
Yeah, and you're right.
Yeah, but a lot of these teams they're not the same teams as 2020, buddy.
Yeah.
They redrafted everything, correct? I mean, they're not the same. They're not the same teams.
Yeah, Tom, who used to be on the Battlehawks. People were all different places.
Yeah. So they're not going to have the same.
But yeah, if you look at this page right here, I mean, this breaks it down pretty much like I feel like every game was like
Yeah.
even. Like nobody really had crappy numbers except for DC, and they didn't even break 100
Yeah.
on either passing or rushing.
I mean, Roughnecks really didn't struggle with the Guardians at all. The Guardians really were never in that game. That was a kind of an easy win for them,
No.
per se.
But it's
Vipers were in that
surprising.
game. Brahmas
yeah.
should have won their game. Brahmas were the better team out of St. Louis. They had just mistakes.
Yeah.
They made very stupid, simple mistakes at the end of the
Yeah.
game. They could clean up because I think they're the better team. I think the Sea Dragons are a little better than the Defenders.
Yeah.
I think the Brahmas, the Roughnecks, and Sea Dragons are, could be at this point, playoff teams. But again, it's just week one. A lot of changes can happen.
Yeah.
They got to learn our offensive system because, like DC, like I said, could not move the football.
Yeah, like looking at this page
No.
right here, like not breaking 100 on either side of the ball. That's pretty crazy to keep a team.
Honestly, I didn't. As far as when I remember, is they got almost all yards on one drive too.
Yeah.
From what I remember, that one drive was, it was a screen pass that went down the sidelines of 20 some yards. A pass to the tight end got stopped at the 1.
Yeah.
A lot. I mean, it was a lot of 3 and outs for them yesterday.
Yeah, for sure.
Some turnovers. It was rough sledding for them for sure.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so let's go back here.
Mhm.
Right here is the North and South Division. Their standings right now, which is crazy to me because I feel like, like you said, I feel like it should be like the Brahmas could be 1-0 easily, and I feel like Sea Dragons definitely could be above there too. But I mean, every win matters, especially when it's a 10 game season. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
It's gonna every game's gonna be crucial, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a big win for everybody that did win. It gets you, one up on everybody else, but this could change quick.
Yeah, I feel like
3 teams outplayed others and lost. I definitely say the Brahmas, the Vipers, and the Sea Dragons outplayed their opponents and all lost.
Yeah, I think that too.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move forward. So here we can go to our offensive power rankings after week 1 games. As we can see it up on the screen for our YouTube viewers, but we'll read them out. Number 1, I have Houston, which moved up dramatically because I thought they weren't going to be a good offense. But I mean, like I said, it could have just been the team they played, but I don't know. So Houston 1, 2, Arlington, 3, I have Seattle. I feel like they're going to move up. I think they're like a top 2 defense. I mean, offense, because I think they just have too many weapons. Danucci and Josh Gordon, once they get settled in, I think they'll be like the best duo in the league. And then we got 4, I have St. Louis. 5, I have DC. I'm still keeping them up. I had them 3rd originally before the game started, but now I dropped them to 5.
Yeah.
But DC, I'm gonna give them another chance. I think they're still a good offense. 6, Las Vegas Vipers. 7, the Brahmas. 8, Orlando Guardians.
Me, myself, I'm going. I just like what I saw out of San Antonio, man. They moved the ball. They had that game well in hand. They absolutely dominated that game until 2 minutes left. They could run the ball. They could throw the ball. Very seemed like a pretty decent, potent offense.
Well, I think it's what scared me away is they only put up 15. Other teams put up like mid-20s. That's probably what happened.
Yeah.
A lot of mistakes on their end. I think they could clean up. 324 yards of offense.
Yeah, I can go back to that if you want right here. I got it
I
up
mean,
for you.
The Battlehawks were nothing on off. I mean, they were the only team to have 100 yards of rushing offense too.
Yeah.
So they ran the ball well, threw the ball well. Somewhat decent, 207 yards. Mistakes in the end cost them.
Yeah.
For now, I'm gonna have them up there at the 1 spot with Houston. I know Houston's, Wade Phillips' team. Defense looks really good. Probably could have Houston up front. I think I like San Antonio's the offense a little better.
Okay.
Seattle third. Again, like I said, I think they outplayed. I don't know what Ben DiNucci was thinking on the 1 yard line there. It looked like the DN. It was either a DN or a safety got around the edge there on that. It was going to be a pitch option play. It looked like either a keep or a pitch, and he blew the play. I mean, he waited for the pitch, and DiNucci panicked and got hit, and strip fumble. The ball squirted out behind him, and that was a wrap.
Yeah.
And he took a knee on the one. So I
kn-
think they outplayed them and could have easily won that game.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I never really saw how Ben fumbled that ball. Like from all view and some videos, it seemed like the ball just came out. I didn't really see anybody hit it out.
I think a
Either.
helmet hit it.
Yeah.
I think he went as he was going to do a tuck back after he realized he couldn't pitch it. He kind of panicked, went in more inwards, back into the tackle box in the line, and somebody hit him coming backwards, and the ball squirted out. You guys didn't even know it was out. I saw it. I said, "Ball's out." And you guys are, "Oh." So it was. Your guys are, "Nah, no way." I was like, "Yeah, it popped out," because it kind of rolled behind the guy and laid behind him. I had a different angle than you. I was farther down.
Mm-hmm.
It was laying behind somebody on that tackle, or somebody was laying up behind his helmet, and they jumped on it.
Yeah.
But I got Orlando. Orlando's offense wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
314 yards, 278 yards passing. One of the best passing offenses. They don't have they don't have too much. I mean, defensively they put numbers up, moved the ball, just couldn't
stop him.
punch. No, they couldn't stop.
33 points. Yeah, I mean that's a lot of points to give up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then we have Las Vegas 5. Like I said, they outplayed their opponent. That Las Vegas offense wasn't. I don't know. Arlington 6, St. Louis 7. DC right now, I think they're struggling. Until we see them turn something on, they are struggling. They're supposed to have the best running back in the game as well, and of course that was on paper. That offensive line could be suspect because they were getting huge penetration.
Yeah.
Up the middle on run plays, they couldn't get the run game going at all.
Yeah.
Couple spurts here and there, but nothing to write home about.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, Gav, go ahead and take your.
Go ahead, Gav.
I got Houston first. I mean, they did put up a lot of points on the board. I mean, they did, like I said earlier, they did meet expectations of blowing out the bad team here. Then I had St. Louis. The offense went insane with that 2-minute comeback. I mean, that offense just went off. I don't know what the offensive coordinator said or anything, but it really helped them. Then I have Arlington. I mean, the offense was all right. I mean, they couldn't really win a lot because of Las Vegas on defense, but they could pass a lot. They were really a pass team there. Yeah. Then I have DC. They passed one. Very low though. Not really what I expected from them.
Yeah.
So that's why they dropped down 3 from my power rankings. Then I had Seattle. I mean, they were doing fine. They were doing great. They were driving down the field with the last 1 minute, and Ben just fumbled the ball. And that was the game. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then I had San Antonio. I mean, the offense played well, but I mean, yeah. Then I had Las Vegas. They had a good one offense going on. And I mean, I would have had them higher, but they didn't throw that 2 pick sixes. Then they would probably be higher in my list. And then dead last, I have Orlando.
As we all.
Nothing to really say.
Well, I think
I
before we
don't.
move on. Yeah, I know. I just feel like Orlando's just a bad team. That's why I just have them there until they put up more than 12 points, probably. But here, Badette on we didn't talk about him on who Arlington. He got 2 touchdowns and was like almost at, I think it was like 80 yards, I think. Yeah, he was the first player to go off. But yeah, he definitely when I was thinking about my MVP pick, he definitely was like number 2 on my list. Jeff Badette.
Yes.
He went off. I had to go with Joseph. I had to go with Joseph from DC, man. He single-handedly turned that game on in.
Yeah.
By himself. Pick 6, that crowd was absolutely just not having a good time. I mean, they weren't not having a good time per se, but they were, it was just going along, kind of, everybody going through the motions, man. He had that pick 6, man, and the place went nuts.
Yeah.
And it just turned that whole game around. It turned the atmosphere around. The beer was flying everywhere.
Yeah, I know. That was crazy.
Me and Austin were down. Me and Austin were down getting refreshments or whatever, and all of a sudden it's just raining beer's flying all over the place. We're like, what is going on here? And it was pretty cool, but it was wild. And that, he single-handedly turned that game on its edge, right there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going on to defensive power rankings, and then after that we'll go to team power rankings and then MVPs, and then we'll do our picks for next week, and then we'll wrap it up. But so for my picks at Arlington, I feel like they were supposed to be the number 1. They seem like they're the number 1 defense to me, at least. I liked what they did because the Vipers have a good offense, like we've all been saying. So like the fact that they stopped them and got pressure on Luis Perez. Perez had 3 touchdowns, most touchdowns of all the QBs this week. So he didn't play terrible, but I mean, I feel like they just had a good defense on him. So I have them as 1. DC I have as 2, just because, I mean, I also think Seattle has like one of the best offenses, and the fact that they two interceptions, that fumble on the 1-yard line, I just felt like that proved themselves there. And then number 3, I have Seattle. Felt like they've had a solid game. San Antonio as my number 4. 5, I have Houston. Houston shut down Orlando, but I don't know if it's just the team or what. So Las Vegas Vipers I have as 6. St. Louis I have as 7. I mean, they held the Brahmas, like they held their own, but I don't know. I didn't watch enough of the game to really analyze them much. And then last I have Orlando.
I have Houston number 1 is on mine. Like I said, Wade Phillips led defense. They're going to be tough for sure. I think they did pretty decent. A couple pick 6s and all. Arlington 2, very good defense. Seattle, I mean, they absolutely shut DC down.
Yeah.
If it weren't for the turnovers in short fields, I think they run away with that game. I really do. San Antonio, they held St. Louis to next to nothing. 3 points until the end. They had a missed field goal in there as well. I think San Antonio might have had a missed field goal. And then they went on a point explosion at the end there. Couple missed, just misplays. Austin Pearl, I like him. Ricky Pearl's son. Spent some time on a Rams practice squad. Las Vegas is my 5th. Then DC, St. Louis, and Orlando are my defensive power rankings at the moment. Get a couple more games in, and then we can get a true vision of what this is. I'm just going with my eye test, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, Gav.
First, I got Seattle. I mean, like their defense was playing incredibly well that whole game.
Yeah.
I mean, just until like the last minute, like DC got a touchdown. Or did DC got a touchdown on them. Um, then that's when the defense was doing fine. And then the only reason why they really lost that game was because of the offense, really. And yeah, next I got Las Vegas. They had an incredible run defense, but the pass defense wasn't as great as the run defense, which I think in the future will get better.
Yeah.
I have Arlington. They did do good. They did stop Las Vegas a lot of times and scored or punted themselves on the drive. But yeah, I think they did good overall. And then I got DC. The defense I would say was not well. They did drop back a little on my pre-list to this list. They did give up a lot of points too, 18 points.
Yeah.
I got St. Louis. They did give up 15 points. Only had 3 points to 15, and then 2 minutes, and then that's when the offense broke off though.
Mm-hmm.
And I got Houston. I mean, Houston's defense was all right. I would expect single digits from like the worst team in the league versus a team that never lost a game in the past 2 times this league happened. I mean, well, last time this league happened. But yeah. And look at it, the defense was kind of doing well and then just gave up because they knew the game was over at the end. I got San Antonio next because, yeah, choked that 15-3 lead with 1 minute and 29 seconds left. Yeah, not good. And Orlando last, worst team in the league right now. Still have a lot more weeks to go. And yeah, gave up the most points in the league. So right now.
Yep. So that does it for the defensive power rankings. Now we're just going to do the power rankings of the teams that we think. All right, so let's go. I got Houston at first, which originally I had them at like 6th, but they came out hot. Once again, they played a bad team, but they looked really good. Either Orlando made them look really good or they're just really good. So I have Houston as 1. DC I still have as 2. I still think that they're a good team. I mean, I know they didn't look that great against Seattle, but I mean, their defense looked phenomenal. And I still think Ta'amu will settle in and make some plays for that offense. And then 3, I have St. Louis. 4, Arlington Renegades, had them at number 1, but they dropped to 4 because they weren't that impressive, but they got the job done. 5, I have Seattle. I mean, at the end of the day, they lost the game, so they're at 5 for me. 6, Las Vegas Vipers. 7, the Brahmas, and then 8, I have Orlando.
Great. My power rankings here. I have Houston as the number 1 team. Again, defense is leading the way right there with them so far. Arlington, close to, I would say. To me, San Antonio, again, I think was the better team, should have won the game. I think they're going to be a force to reckon with. I really do. I have them as the 3rd spot. Seattle, the speedy receivers, big bodied receivers. If the Ben DiNucci can actually stop turning the ball over, they but you probably have a good shot, to keep the turnovers. And then they're a really good ball control. They move the ball. Who's the offense? What's it? June Jones or something?
June Jones. Yeah.
June Jones is it? They moved the ball. It just mistakes. They gave DC short fields and pick sixes, and that's how they lost the game. St. Louis battled back a heck of a rally. I like Austin Pro. I think they're going to be a solid team. DC, Jordan Taimu has to turn it on or something, do better. I wasn't impressed with the running game at all. Actually, I think the backup running back had a much better game. Forget his name. I'll get that here in a minute. And then we have Las Vegas. Like I said, I think they were the better team in this. They could have won the game.
Yeah.
They moved the ball decent. My final. Go on my Zoom here.
Yeah, Austin left.
Did he?
All right, that's fine. Yeah.
Orlando.
Yeah. I mean, I could pull up mine. That's fine.
Who's Orlando? What happened to Austin?
I don't know, but just keep on going.
All right, go ahead and finish out your picks.
Yeah. All right, so mine.
Make it short. Wrap it up. We'll get this moving.
Yeah. I had Houston. They were my highest climber. They went up 5. Arlington, second, stay the same. DC, they were first, drop back 2. St. Louis, did go up 1 with that 15-3 comeback at the end. Las Vegas did seem good, so they 5th inning went up 2. Seattle offense just made them look bad last night. So they went down 3 and now is 6. Now my lowest climber, San Antonio is number 7. Drop back 4 times.
All right, I'm back.
Last I got Orlando. And yeah, they stay the same. Didn't really prove anything.
Yeah.
Okay, now on to the MVPs.
Yep. And here, I'll get the page back up. Sorry, my computer actually just died on me.
All right, let's get this.
It's almost done now. There we go. All right. Yep. Next, MVPs. We all had Joseph. I mean, the guy sealed the game for DC, made the biggest impact. I mean, we talked about it earlier. I mean, like you said, the fans came alive once he made that play, that pick 6. It was a turning point in the game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. A couple people in the league had a couple, big impact plays that, a couple touchdowns. It's could have went to a couple people, but like I said, just being at the stadium and the atmosphere was just there was no atmosphere until that pick 6, man, was electric, and it flipped the whole script. It really did.
Yeah, like we were talking about Badette earlier, he did a great job in that first game for Arlington. But I mean, at the end of the day, Joseph was a bigger playmaker, I thought.
Yeah. McCrary plays for St. Louis, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, heck of a rally. A big conversion on the 4th and 15, and then heck of a comeback. I mean, AJ McCarron, he rallied. It was, come on, last second rally. It was unbelievable too.
Yeah,
I think this could have went a couple different ways.
Yeah.
But and it's tough right now with this league at the moment too. They're very low on statistics. I think they're working on that, getting team statistics out with players, and So it's a little bit of rough sledding here, finding out, statistics. We got to do a lot of research on this. So it's bear with us. We'll get this a lot cleaner here as we go through this, because it'll get easier through the weeks, because we'll get better things here. Right now it's tough sledding. The league's just starting up. They're getting their stuff together. I think they just signed a stats company.
Yeah, they did.
2 weeks ago. So they're getting together. It's a work in progress. So we're a work in progress with this. It'll get better as we roll.
Yeah. So we're at like 40 now. So we'll wrap it up now. But yeah, this is the last right here. So now we both all have our picks right here. Let me move our faces out of the way. The YouTubers. Yeah. So right here, for the Thursday night game, Battlehawks, Sea Dragons. We all went with the Sea Dragons. I went with the Sea Dragon just because I feel like they're the better team right now.
Yeah.
I mean, that game could go either way. We'll learn more as we go at that. I just feel the Sea Dragons could win this one.
Yeah, me too.
It's in Seattle, correct?
Yeah, at Seattle. Yeah. All right, and then next we have DC Defenders at the Vegas Vipers. They literally were the last team to sign their deal with their stadium. Their stadium only holds 12,500 fans. So if it's the same crowd as all the other stadiums, it'll be a sold out stadium. So that'll be a different view.
Yeah. I chose Vegas only because DC didn't really do anything in Seattle. Vegas actually did something against a team that wasn't really projected to do anything against Arlington, that actually did something against Arlington. Yeah, that's basically made me choose the Vipers.
I think the Vipers are a better team at the moment. From what they showed, that a little bit more offense, and it could go either way. I mean, honestly, what Vipers gonna, have a bad week, DC could turn it on. But again, it's going to take 2 or 3 weeks till we really get a solid foundation of what these teams are going to be.
Yeah,
and let things play out. But I think Vipers will take this one.
All right, and then I have DC just because, like I said, I feel like they'll get their act together. Like that offense, I've seen Jordan Tommy play in 2 different leagues now. I think that he's a good quarterback and that he can, like with the weapons he has, even with Abram Smith as his running back, I think he'll find a way to win the game. All right, and then next game, San Antonio Brahmas at the Orlando Guardians. We all picked the Brahmas. Orlando just doesn't look. They look like a crappy team so far. So I have the Brahmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Brahmas walk away with that easily.
Yeah. All right, and then the last game, and to wrap it up, Arlington Renegades at the Houston Roughnecks. I picked the Roughnecks to win. I thought that they're just looked like the dominant team on week 1.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think they have a good, solid defense. Right now, I think they look like a team to reckon with. But again, we'll see. It's going to take a couple weeks to feel it out. So
I had Arlington because actually Arlington did play a decent team. They played Vegas. They came out on top because of the 2-point conversion stop and that 4th and 15 stop. And Houston, they played Orlando. They're the worst team in this league. I don't think they're just good because they played a bad team and won. They have to show they're actually good once they play a little better squad than them.
Gotcha. All right. Well, that wraps it up for our week 1 podcast. We'll be on YouTube, pretty much anywhere you can get a podcast, on Apple Podcasts. Make sure you leave a review, and we'll be here every Tuesday. So we'll see you.
All right.
See you later next week.
All right.
See ya.
All right. Let's end this thing.
Stop. 44.
I got 44.
I'm 4409.
Yeah, 4405.26.
All right. Yeah, I'm good to go.
Gotta airdrop that to my phone.
Yeah, there's some parts I gotta take out.
No, yeah, I got you. I'll take it out, Gab. You can just send the whole thing to me, and I'll edit it. That's what I was
Yeah,
doing.
because I had Bella come into my room and she was whining, so I had to tell her to get out.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah.
gotcha. No, that's all right. All right, so let's go ahead and end the recording on this. End the recording.